Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Talk Sports Show on Friday, December 1st. It is officially the month of Christmas now, and we've got some college basketball upset picks and NBA picks today for you. Here in today's show, I'm going to say this. You get double the upset picks. Instead of 3, you get 6 upset picks and 3 best bets and 3 cover picks. My first upset is Xavier plus 8.5 to upset Houston. Houston doesn't. I like Houston, but they just don't. They don't pass the needle for me. I think this has a chance of being an upset. My second upset pick is Maryland plus 3 to upset Indiana. Now, normally I would say this is a crazy upset pick, but watching the amount of Big Ten basketball I do, I don't necessarily like what I've seen from Indiana early in the season. So that is why I have them on upset alert tonight. And my third upset pick is West Virginia plus 5 to upset St. John's. This upset pick is one that I love a lot. West Virginia is a team in basketball that I can get behind every single day of the week to pick as an upset, and I like it a lot. My first cover pick is LSU minus 17 to cover against Southeast Louisiana. Now, here's the thing. I don't know much about Southeast Louisiana other than they haven't won that many games this year in basketball. So I think LSU has a good chance here of covering the point spread. My second cover pick is San Diego State minus 13.5 to cover against University of California, San Diego. To me, I think this is kind of a rivalry game because it's 2 San Diego schools playing each other. But I don't, like I said about Southeast Louisiana, I don't know that much about UC San Diego, other than they're a California school and they haven't won that many basketball games this year so far. Only a month into the season. I do like San Diego State, however, to cover the spread here and win. And my last cover pick is BYU minus 14.5 to cover the spread against Fresno State. I love this cover pick a lot. BYU is a team that I don't want to mess with. If I'm picking against them, I'd rather use them and pick for them other than picking against them and being wrong. Because there's some teams so far early in the season that I've learned you don't pick against them. And BYU is probably going to be one of those teams that you don't want to pick against. So I'm picking BYU to cover here. Now, I could be wrong, and it could be the other way around. Fresno State could cover, and this cover pick could look ugly. My fourth upset is Arkansas State plus 1.5 to upset Arkansas Little Rock. I have no idea how Arkansas Little Rock is favored by 1.5 points in this game. I don't think that they should be favored. I think it should be Arkansas State, but I do like Arkansas State to pull the upset here. My fifth upset pick, and this one might seem a little crazy. UConn plus 3 to upset Kansas. Now, hear me out. I know I'm going to have some explaining to do on this. I like both these teams. Somebody's going to lose. And UConn really hasn't, Kansas really hasn't played that tough a competition out of conference so far. So that is why right here I'm picking UConn to pull the upset. And my last upset pick is Southern Miss +9 to upset UAB. Now, this used to be a matchup in the Conference USA, and they're renewing hostilities here tonight. I like Southern Miss to pull the upset and win. The point spread is +9, is 9 points in favor of UAB, but I like Southern Miss to pull the upset. And now, here's some NBA picks. It's a light slate of NBA games tonight, so I have 3 picks that I like, and then I'm going to give you a couple college basketball best bets. My first one is I like the Magic -11 to cover the point spread against the Wizards, and I have the Magic winning 109-87. The Magic just played the Wizards 2 days ago on Tuesday. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday they played them. It was Wednesday. They played them Wednesday and beat them. I think they can beat them again. If not by this score, a lot worse. And they cover the spread. My second one is the Celtics. This is one of the biggest games of the early of the basketball season for the NBA. Celtics, I have the Celtics -6.5 to cover the point spread against the Sixers. And my game pick is the Celtics 109-100. Now, you may be saying, why are you picking Boston? They're the favorite. You should be picking the Sixers. Now, the issue I have with the Sixers is Embiid's good, Maxi's good. Who's their third option? Is it B-ball Paul Reed? I have no idea who their third option is, so how am I supposed to know who to pick? And that's why I'm going with the Celtics. And then my last NBA pick is the Suns +2 to cover the point spread against the Nuggets. And I have my game pick is the Suns 110-108. So close game. They cover the spread. Do they win? Possibly. I don't know if they win, but my pick is the Suns. And now I've got a couple other things that I'm going to cover today. One is if you have any fantasy football questions, don't be afraid to put them down in the comment section, and I will give you my best answer. Now, but here's 3 coaches in the NFL that I could see getting fired within the next couple weeks, and you can either put your thoughts in the comment section down below as to if you agree with me or disagree, and I'm going to explain why. The first one I think that's going to get fired, unless somehow their season gets turned around, is Brandon Staley with the Chargers. It's already came out and said unless a miracle happens that Brandon Staley's going to lose his job. And that's just, in my opinion, that's a shame. That it's not a shame that he's going to lose his job. It's a shame that he failed with the roster he had with the Chargers. Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Derwin James, Casey Hayward at one point. They had so many good players, and they failed to come through. So Brandon Staley's one, 2, Ron Rivera. And this one I'm going to keep short and sweet. The reason I think Ron Rivera is going to get axed at the end of the year on Black Friday for the NFL at the end of the season is because there's a new ownership group in Washington, and I think they want their own head coach in there, and that might be Bieniemy. Bieniemy might be the next head coach for the Commanders if they get rid of Ron Rivera. And the third one, and this one hits close to home. I'm a Buccaneers fan. Todd Bowles. Now, don't get me wrong. Todd Bowles, good defensive coordinator, but he's a terrible conservative head coach. And if the Glazers are smart in the front office, they will fire they will fire Todd Bowles and have somebody else, maybe an offensive mind like Ben Johnson, Bobby Slovic, or somebody else that's an offensive coordinator, or maybe Dave Canales. Maybe Dave Canales can stay and be the head coach, and you just hire a new offensive coordinator. But I think Todd Bowles needs to be gone. I think Todd Bowles, they need to get rid of him. He is terrible. I think he needs to go, and they need to get a new head coach. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for today's show. I will see you back at probably 4 o'clock for the first episode of the San Jose Sharks franchise mode, and I will show you the thumbnail for the Sharks franchise mode. This is the thumbnail for the Sharks franchise mode that y'all chose. The Sharks are the team that got the most votes in the franchise poll. Now, the poll I did say was closed, but technically you can still vote, and if somehow the Blue Jackets come back, we could do a Columbus Blue Jackets franchise mode. But the Sharks were in the lead last time I checked. Now, we could go over and check over here and see what the community poll says. Community poll. Nobody's voted on that yet. Results. Doesn't look like it's going to give us results. No votes. Oh, wait. Stop sharing. Stop sharing it for a second because I don't want y'all seeing. I'm pretty sure that the San Jose Sharks are going to win the poll. So that is the franchise team we'll be doing. And y'all's input on that franchise mode is very much appreciated and welcome because it's a whole Talk Sports YouTube franchise mode for NHL 24, which means y'all have all the freedom and the input. Y'all are the assistant GMs for that. Falcons franchise, we may be taking we're going to take a little break from Falcons franchise for a bit, and we're going to focus on the NHL 24 franchise mode. how the videos are going to be broken up is what we're going to do is episode 1 of the Sharks franchise is going to be the first part of the season up until January. And it's going to be full sim. We will simulate live sim and play maybe 2 games each month to see how we do. And then, so episode 1 is going to be September/October to January. Episode 2 is January to the end of the season. Episode 3 will be off season 1. And then episode 4 will be season 2. That is how the layout for the Sharks for the NHL 24 franchise mode will be. Now, the one thing I want to ask is put it in the comments down below. Should we have punishments for if we don't win a certain amount of games in the franchise mode, for if we should we have punishments for the franchise mode? If we don't win a certain amount of games, if we miss the playoffs, like for example, if we miss the playoffs, do we have to forfeit a draft pick or trade a player for a 7th round pick? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will be looking at the comments after the video. But that's going to do it for me. I will see you, all of you later today. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Peace.